Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Hey, this is Jamie from Green River Ordnance. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello, everyone. I am Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture News, FM 104.5, 106.1, live streaming irlonestar.com. We are in the studio in downtown Conroe, the Conroe City Hall, Conroe Tower. And my guests today are going to be ladies with Operation Pets Alive, Kathy Brune and Sue Woody. They're going to talk to us all about the dogs and the cats. And then in the second half, we're going to hear from Katie Krause of Bears, Etc., and especially about the big cats and what's going on. And I know you ladies know Katie, I'm sure, because it's all about the animals, right? So this is the show all that's gone to the dogs. That's all. It's gone to the dogs and the bears and the tigers. So, the show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic and Team Sinisi Real Estate Group. Vinny Sinisi is now part of another organization, another real estate magnet group, and we will hear from him next week. But for now, it's Team Sinisi, and they are the location to help you with any of your real estate needs, whether you want to invest, buy, sell. Team Sinisi, because it's an easy name to remember. 281-507-9777. Roger Stein Chiropractic are located at 3033 West Davis by Conroe High School and Taco Bell, treating anyone from infants to seniors, weekend athletes to professionals, with a focus on natural, holistic healing, not only to relieve pain, but achieve optimal health. Dr. Stacy Rogers holds certifications in adjusting extremities, arms, legs, hands, feet, clinical nutrition, prenatal, and pediatric care. If you are not a patient, it's under $30 to go see her, and it all goes back to kids in CPS custody with CASA. So, a few things going on around us. If you haven't been to the Conroe Art League, you need to go by, because they have their Christmas is Forgiving exhibit with more than 100 pieces of art, jewelry, and sculpture available for purchase from our local artists. And they're at 127 Simonton Street, right next to the Red Brick Tavern. And Foss Brewing, if you're looking. So, Foss Brewing opened up just last year. So they have one-of-a-kind items, all made by local artists, and there's also 70 works of art by 38 artists, each priced at $150 or less. So go check it out, and that's the Conroe Art League, Christmas is Forgiving. The Woodlands Show Chorus is having their free Christmas concert tonight, Monday night, at the First Presbyterian Family Life Center, located at 2727 North Loop 336 in Conroe at 7 p.m. So they're the Sweet Adelines. They're a local chapter of Sweet Adelines who sing in 4-part a cappella harmony and compete in award-winning events. So that's tonight at 7. So those are a couple fun things. And then this is the final week for our community theaters. You can see You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown at the Owen Theater, put on by the Players Theater Company. And Stage Right is hosting Spam-A-Lot. What is Spam-A-Lot? It's a Monty Python satire, comical, musical kind of thing. And that is at the Crichton Theater. So that goes on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday matinee at 2 o'clock, and then it's done. And there's no more Christmas shows after that at the theaters until January. Well, it's also Christmas music weekend with the Conroe Symphony Orchestra. Lots of things going on. So they're performing the happiest season of all at the Willis High School Performing Arts Center this Saturday at 2 p.m. If you haven't been there or if you haven't seen them, they're really, really good. And the Willis High School Performing Arts Center is a beautiful building. So that's where they're going to be performing the remainder, well, actually going through 2023. So that's this Saturday at 2 p.m. The Montgomery County Choral Society is performing Christmas carols at Southern Star Brewery, and that's free too, I believe, and that's 6 to 8 p.m. So here's something that's not free, but it's very good, is the Brian Black Show with special guest Georgette Jones, and she's the daughter of Tammy Wynette and George Jones, and they'll be performing at Pacific Yard House this Saturday night at 9 p.m. So you can go to Pacific Yard House and find out the details about getting tickets for that. Have y'all seen the lights in downtown right now? Every rooftop from Fraser all the way, I believe, to the Pacific Street where the railroads, the trains go by, is decorated with green and red lights. It looks so awesome. Y'all, if you go downtown for one of these great things that I just talked about, see the lights because it's what makes Conroe unique. There's no other town in Montgomery County, and I don't know what other town in Texas, let's just say, is doing this. And during the World Series, they were blue and yellow. So go down and check it out. It just gives that homey feel, and the trees are lit up year-round at Heritage Park. So it kind of looks like Disneyland. So we now live in Disneyland, just saying. So with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with my first guests, Kathy and Sue from Operation Pets Alive.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment, or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Team Sinisi is a proud sponsor of Conroe Culture News. Vinny Sinisi and his professional team provide comprehensive real estate services throughout the greater Montgomery County area and beyond. Whether looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Team Sinisi has an impeccable reputation. Contact Team Sinisi for a great experience at teamsinisi.com. That's TEAMSINISI.com.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776.
So I'm sitting here with the ladies from Operation Pets Alive. I have both Kathy Brune and I lost my sheet of paper. Hold on. Sue Woody. So sorry. Sue Woody. And you are the vice president, is that correct? Of Operation Pets Alive. And it's a nonprofit organization that's been around about 12 years, right? So Kathy, tell me a little bit about the organization.
My name's Kathy Brune, and I want to thank y'all for having us on here. We're really grateful for the opportunity to share what we do. I was one of the founding board members back in 2010 when we incorporated, and ever since then, we've been working right here in Montgomery County with volunteers, no paid people, saving cats, dogs, puppies, and kittens. And we have just worked and worked and worked, to fulfill our base mission, which is to help Montgomery County achieve no-kill status through working in the community with pet adoptions, public spay-neuter, fostering, and assisting people with community cats.
So tell me about how that works. You're educating people. You have adoptions all the time,
Yes.
every weekend.
Every
Seems
other
like
weekend.
every other weekend at
At
Petco.
Petco by Trader Joe's, and also at the PetSmart at the Portofino Shopping Center, and also Petco Cypresswood are our three main locations that we are every other weekend. Yes.
And you usually list that on your Facebook page.
On our Facebook page, on our web page, on
You
our
can find
calendar,
it.
which is www.operationpetsalive.org.
And you guys are very involved in this because, well, you love the animals, right?
Yes.
You even have one with you today.
I have one with me. I have Miss Penny with me, who is 3 years old.
Where is Miss Penny?
Penny is, come here.
Penny. Okay, is it possible to lift Penny up so everybody can see Penny? She's available, right? What kind of dog is Penny? I got her. Oh, you got her? Okay.
Sure. We think
She looks lovable.
Oh, sorry, Penny. I scratched her tail. She looks like she might be a pointer mix of some sort. She was adopted as a puppy and came back to us because we always try to help as many of our adopters if they need to rehome. She came back right before
Sweet.
Thanksgiving. Often adult dogs get overlooked for the cuteness factors of puppies. But puppies grow up to be adult dogs. And she's an absolute love. She's being fostered by Sue, who can tell you more about her.
Yes, like I said, Penny, one reason I wanted to talk about is everybody, when they think of adoptions, they think of puppies. You know, I don't know about you all, but sometimes puppies are a little more work than some
They're a lot of work.
They're a lot of work. And that's why
Right.
adult dogs are overlooked, but they're wonderful.
What?
because,
How old is an adult dog, would you consider?
over a year.
Over a year? Okay.
Over a year. So they've gone through the puppy stage. You know, they're mostly housebroken, can sleep through the night, not chew up your furniture and your clothes.
Those are all big assets.
Those are pluses to adopt
Oh,
an
yeah.
adult dog.
Sure,
Yes.
sure.
And you already know what you're getting, as we said.
And you should have a fenced yard, right?
Oh, definitely have a fenced yard and be able to walk them, give them some attention. Yes. But having an adult dog is wonderful. That's why I like to foster adult dogs.
So what does fostering mean? How long do you have an animal, a dog or a cat?
I would say the average right now is probably a month. You're going to have a dog or a cat in your home.
That's not that long.
It's not that long, and it all depends on the dog. Some of them are more adoptable. We've had them ready to go in a week. You know, we get them publicized on our webpage. You can go to and see and read their bios, because that's the nice thing about fostering is you can write a bio which goes online that tells about their personality and, you know, what they feel if they're not good with kids or they are good with kids, housebroken, good with other dogs, good with cats, and that's all in their bio, which is online.
That's very nice. So you have other programs, including the spay neuter, right?
Yes. For residents of Montgomery County, we offer a public assisted spay-neuter program. And you can go to our website to see the details under targeted spay-neuter, but it enables us to offer very reduced cost to spay dogs, cats, or age-appropriate kittens and puppies that are owned by people. And the joy about this is that we offer the lowest rate for anyone who's receiving any kind of assistance, such as Social Security or otherwise, and then we have a very competitive rate. The spay-neuters are done by our partner vets. Once you've completed the application and submitted your payment, and you can get vaccines and update those if necessary, because all dogs by the state of Texas, cats must have a rabies, so that rabies will be done if you can't produce a valid certificate. You get to book the appointment at one of our partner vets that's closest to your house. And as a result, we absorb the rest of the cost and pay for that with our fundraising. So it helps prevent unwanted litters, which is our biggest problem in Montgomery County.
Well, and that's your biggest mission is to have the county be a no-kill community, right? And you do that through, of course, educating people, adopting, spay, neutering, fostering. And you also have a program where you transfer pets.
Yes.
To
We have a
places that can take
transport happening this week. I think we're sending 15 dogs up to the Northeast, New Hampshire, not Vermont, Massachusetts, and sometimes even to Maine. So yes, 15 dogs have a trip to a new life up north where they are highly adoptable and quickly adopted up there. So it is.
So why is that our shelters are full, but yet others are not in other states, let's say?
My opinion, number one, up north, the communities are smaller and they have a better handle on spay and neuter, which is a big thing. And also their winters are brutal. So, most, like in Houston, stray dogs can live on the streets for longer.
So they
is
don't
sad.
have as many strays.
No, they do not.
Okay.
There's a lot of factors involved, but down here in Texas, one of the biggest roadblocks has been access to inexpensive spay neuter and an attitude that, I'll be able to place any animals that my mama dog or cat has, which just isn't always true, as people find out when they write us or call us and they've got 8 or 9 puppies and they can't find anyone to take the puppies. When we work with fostering, we pull animals from the shelter as well as from the community. We have what's called our community request program. So if someone has an accidental litter, unintended litter, or needs help with animals that they own or have found, we can assist. However, we do have one caveat. We're not superheroes. We don't have a facility. We can't take animals from finders or owners. It's very difficult for us to do that because everything is fostered in someone's home. Sue has other dogs. She also has, you have a cat too, you don't have a cat. No cat right now. But we always are integrating animals in, as I tell people in emails, we have jobs, families, grumpy spouses sometimes.
Just like all of us, right?
We're no different. There are no superpowers. We're just the same. So the biggest part of the education is the community aspect. It's encouraging and helping people. Yes, you can do this. We can provide the infrastructure. We have the vetting to get them vaccinated and spayed and neutered so that breeding cycles are stopped. We can help with the adoptions. We can help write the bio and take photos. We can do everything except
You can't take in all the animals.
No,
you just
the volume is just
you don't,
too
You
high.
don't have the
We
capacity.
encourage, if you are doing community requests, that you be willing to foster until the animal is adopted. And that's the best way to get an animal into our program. You have to be willing
And
to
that's
foster.
true for many other groups. We're not alone in that restriction. But for us, it allows us to double what we're able to do if you can care for that found or animal that needs to be rehomed.
And you're, I think, one of the largest organizations out here in the county, aren't you? That works with
We're
the
very
dogs
proud
and
of that.
cats.
Yes, we are.
We
Yeah.
have a duration of over a decade of helping animals. We have hundreds of volunteers that have worked with us over the course of the years in all different capacities, because fostering is key, but it also takes people doing data input. We need people to help us at each offsite. We could do more offsites if we had more just volunteers. You may not be able to take that animal into your home, but you could come and help put up crates and take them down and greet people and clean up puppy and dog messes and answer questions at any one of our offsites. We also do larger events. We hosted a very successful Halloween event at North Shore. Halloween. It generated $25,000.
Oh,
I was there.
that's
It
wonderful.
was fabulous. We had all kinds of community support, booths of all different sorts, not just even animal oriented. People were coming in from all parts of the community to partake of the day. It was a lovely day. It was a little warm for Halloween, but we had a great time anyway. And those volunteers, I just showed up and said hi.
Well,
And
it's all about bringing awareness to
is.
the cause, and that there are animals that need to be taken care of, fostered, adopted. And so I know that County Judge Keogh is working with the animal shelter. Has that helped y'all in your plight overall?
It because the shelter is such a large entity and handles such a volume, it needs constant fine tuning. Demand is up, and I think after the pandemic, the demand really goes up in the second or third year after you've had a disruption. It was this way in 2008 with the recession. We saw a big increase both at the shelter and in the requests coming to us about 2 years after the event, because people had used up their savings, worn out their welcomes, couldn't afford pet deposits and things like that. So anything that the council can do to improve this, the judge and
So it's better, but it's not the end all.
it's not the end all. It's never
Right.
gonna be the end all. And it just takes knowing that people in our community need to pitch in as a unit to help the shelter, help the animals, both with donations to them, adopting from them, working with their procedures as they evolve, because they've changed a lot since COVID. They have limited intake. You have to have an appointment. It's difficult. You have to be able to hold on to the animal for at least a few days in order even to do.
You can't just drop off.
No,
Right.
not anymore.
They
And
know-
also Montgomery County has their own foster program.
Right.
Right.
So, there's a lot of avenues, but again, that the willingness to pitch in. We just can't assume, the county will take care of it, or the rescue groups will take care of it. We'll take care of it as a good community. I've lived here since 2005, and I chose to be in this rescue personally because it did something directly in my community, and I'm very, very proud of that, and I know Sue is
Yes,
too.
I am.
I meet all sorts of people because of that. And we just know we're having an impact, and we've paved the way for a lot of new rescues to open up. So there's lots of avenues. Never enough, but lots.
Well, I think you are known as the largest. I mean, I personally have gotten a dog from you, and I would rather adopt than go to a breeding facility. There are those, and hopefully that has lessened over the years. I don't know. These people that just keep breeding the dogs continually. I just feel
Backyard breeders.
so bad for those dogs. I've seen some of those, and the way that they're handled, and those poor mamas, how
We've
they're
gotten some of
taking
those
care of
mamas
them.
once.
It's just seems beyond cruel.
It is.
It makes me sad. I have a dachshund. I got him because he was adopted. And he's a little feisty. He doesn't like other dogs.
But those are the
But
best.
I don't know. He's quite challenging. He's known as the bully in the neighborhood because the other dogs cross the street when he comes by. But he likes kids and people. It's a lot. But I appreciate what you guys do. And so you're doing some events coming up besides the normal adoptions. You have one coming up this week.
We have an event this weekend. We'll be again at Petco on Saturday in the Woodlands by Trader Joe's. That event is from 1 to 4. We're also having at Wolfgang at Creekside, we're calling it Puppy Palooza. And so there'll be lots of puppies there for adoption. Also on Sunday, we will be at Petco on Cypresswood. Oh, not forgot. I'm sorry. We'll also be at PetSmart Portofino from 12 to 4. Our adoption fee for dogs and puppies is $160, which includes spay neuter, 2 sets of their DAPP, microchip, bordetella,
Rabies.
and
It's a lot.
And rabies.
It's
Yes.
actually very affordable.
Very affordable.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And the cats are $80 for adoption fees, which includes same thing. Their basic vaccines, spay and neuter, and microchip.
Do cats get along with other cats? I know not always dogs do, but I mean, if you have a cat, do they generally are more
It depends.
Yes.
submissive, so to speak?
Cats have wonderful personalities, and they're all individuals.
Yes.
So there are, just like with dogs, some cats that aren't happy with other cats. We do know that kittens adjust better if you do two, because then they learn to play appropriately and not claw or bite so hard. Many people find that cats in pairs are a wonderful addition to their house, and sometimes you have to go through a more careful introduction process if one cat or the other is not as social. But, it's very, very easy to add another cat to most households.
So if a cat is an older cat, would it kind of just walk away from a younger cat?
And I think that's the beauty of fostering, because
Yes.
once again, when people foster, especially cats, most of the time they have multiple cats. So they, again, in the bio will say they get along, have been in a household with 5 other cats. So that is.
So that they understand.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So you also are doing something at the Woodlands Mall.
Yes, starting next Wednesday, we're having gift wrapping. And so we'll have lots of elves to help you wrap your gifts. We'll be by Dick's Sporting Goods right there in the mall. So please come by, let us wrap your gift, and make a donation.
Always lovely.
Our gift wrappers are superb.
We have so
I'm,
much.
I'm not good at
I'm
that.
not a gift wrapper either.
Well, we're also still looking for volunteers.
But so if you like to wrap, we can use
And
you.
want to help the animals.
And want to help the animals, please.
We have
you can
gorgeous
reach out to
supply.
us. Yes. You can email us at info@operationpetsalive.org if you're interested in helping. So that would be wonderful.
Okay.
We have a good time. We have a real good time.
Every time I see y'all out there with adoptions or anything, people are very friendly, and you are having a good time. They love what they do, anybody who volunteers.
Oh, definitely.
And I know that you'll probably be at the Home and Outdoor Living Show
Yes,
again
we are.
in March.
We are. We sure will.
I have
be.
an insight on that.
Oh,
I know these things. I know the person who writes the article. Yes. Anything you want to add?
come out, come see us, come visit, make donations. You can donate online. Again, operationpetsalive.org is our website, and we have a donate button. You can even, for our spay, if you want it to go anywhere particular, if you haven't, for adoption events, for our public spay and neuter, you can also note that. All donations are welcomed, because again, we can't keep going without the community's help.
And we do appreciate it because many of the animals that we get require extensive medical help. We adopt out for $160, but an individual animal may have anywhere from a few hundred to sometimes thousands of dollars invested in it to help it overcome a broken limb, a severe skin allergy, parvo.
Right.
We just have had a parvo outbreak, and one puppy's visit was over $4,000. So, yes, all donations are greatly appreciated.
I know that I am featuring y'all in my 12 Days of Christmas. This will be my 4th year of doing this. We're doing it a little differently, but I am sending those to the courier. So I have a list of 12 nonprofits, and y'all are on the list.
Oh, we greatly appreciate that.
So, so again, it's operationpetsalive.org. You can also find them on Facebook, OPA Texas, or just put it in the search Operation Pets Alive, and you will find it. Look at the dogs, the cats, see how you can adopt one of them, an older dog especially, like this little Penny over here. She's so sweet. I would take her home if I didn't have Oscar, who was the mean dog. But that's just, I don't know. Anyway, ladies, Kathy and Sue, thank you very much. And I hope you have a wonderful Christmas with the dogs and cats.
And to you.
And to you, and thank you again so much
Thank
for
you.
hosting us. We just
Absolutely.
really appreciate the opportunity to share.
Thank you.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Rogers Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Team Sinisi is a proud sponsor of Conroe Culture News. Vinny Sinisi and his professional team provide comprehensive real estate services throughout the greater Montgomery County area and beyond. Whether looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Team Sinisi has an impeccable reputation. Contact Team Sinisi for a great experience at teamsinisi.com. That's TEAMSINISI.com.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
God's Garage is a 501c3 that repairs and gives away cars for free to single moms, widows, and wives of deployed military. You can help God's Garage by donating a vehicle, volunteering your time, or by monetary donation. God's Garage is located at 2106 East Davis, Conroe. If you'd like to learn more about God's Garage, visit our website at godsgarage.org. Or you can contact us and we would be glad to come and make a presentation to your group.
And we are back with our second segment now with Katie Krause, Bears, etc. Katie's been on here, 4 years, 5 years, all the time, something like that. Even before she got big and known all over the county and before she's done all these wonderful things. But just kind of wanted to have a check-in with Katie because she's had a lot of exciting things going on. And then we can talk about whatever's on your wish list and all of that, Katie.
Please stuff our stockings.
Yes, all of that stuff. So, first of all, for people who don't know, and I don't know why they wouldn't know, but can you tell us a little bit about what Bears, Etc. is?
Yeah, so Bears, Etc. is a 5-year-old nonprofit organization. We are the experts in Southeast Texas for exotic animal rescue. And while we're doing all of this rescuing, we are fundraising to build the nation's first bear sanctuary. So there are lots of big cat sanctuaries across the country, wolf, dog, parrot, reptile sanctuaries, and there is no true bear sanctuary in the U.S. for bears coming out of the exotic pet trade. So we are building the first of its kind.
So are you still needing funds for that?
Yes, we are constantly fundraising. We are at $102,000 in our capital campaign, and we need at least another $100,000 for a 20-acre property with the prices of land the way they are now. Another $100,000 to get the property that we need. It requires, in Montgomery County, it requires 20 acres to have a safe distance away from people's homes and schools in order to go by their laws of what they have as standards of where you can have these animals. You can't just have large, dangerous carnivores next door to somebody's home.
Oh, and that kind of opens the door to about tigers.
Yes. We have had a Christmas miracle, and I can't even, tell you guys. I mean, if you were in here, you can probably feel my energy. Not only did the Big Cat Public Safety Act pass the Senate last week, which I'm very excited for. It passed in the House earlier this year. Congressman Brady, thank you for voting yes. We really appreciate that. But every senator that was there voting that night said yes to the Big Cat Public Safety Act. So I'm so excited for this. President Biden has said earlier this year that he would sign it once it came across his desk. So I mean, there's no more work to be done, right? Except for after the fact, the work is going to be rescuing these animals. So what it does is it grandfathers anybody in who already has a big cat as a pet. They can keep it. They just can't get more. And they can't breed, and they need to register with U.S. Fish and Wildlife. If they are USDA licensed facility, they can't have the cub interaction. So that will really end the breeding of them, because no more interactions between the public and the big cats, because of the danger that it brings to the cubs, who are only a couple weeks of age when they start with the cub petting, but also the danger to the public with these large dangerous carnivores. So we're very
are there any
excited.
big cats here in Montgomery County that you're aware of?
That I'm aware of? There was one on the San Jacinto Montgomery County line that was called in that was loose. So whether it's a leopard or a jaguar, it was spotted. That's all I know. There used to be someone out in East County that had tigers. He is not allowed to own any tigers anymore. I cannot confirm or deny that he does or does not have big cats anymore, but he's not supposed to. So, but they are in surrounding counties.
Are there some in Harris County? Maybe.
I
don't know.
So I don't know if you guys remember a couple years ago, there was a lady that had tigers in her garage. And she's now back in the area. Those tigers kind of disappeared. But then also there is a woman from Houston who is connected to a jaguar that was actually left on one of our peer sanctuaries' doorstep, so to speak. She took it to meet this person in Austin, and they had it in the hotel room. And
so weird.
And this lady, she's out of Houston, and so she got them a jaguar that they wanted. So it's very easy to get big cats. It's a lot easier than people think. You think it's going to be thousands of dollars, and it's not. You can get one for less than a new iPhone. It's not hard to get these big cats and keep them as pets.
Wow.
And previous to the Big Cat Public Safety Act being passed, it was just a $50 permit in the state of Texas to have one as a pet.
So are they required to register or anything that they have these big cats?
No.
Well, so you don't know if there's somebody
county by
there
county.
living in your neighborhood with a large cat?
Yeah.
Large cat?
Well, if we remember 6 years ago, we had the Conroe tiger cub, right? Mm-hmm. Several people at Watercress saw this guy walking his tiger cub around, and nobody ever said anything until he evacuated for the tax day floods and left the tiger cub in the backyard tied to a pole, and it got loose and was found by someone driving by. So I don't know if the public just doesn't know that people are housing them illegally, or if they think that, oh, well, if he has a tiger as a pet, he must have the proper permits and everything to have it, when we find that most of the time that they don't. So
it's just crazy. So
what
about like chimpanzees? Don't people still do that too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that okay?
No.
I don't know.
I mean, when we think about primates, and granted, I am not a primate expert, but I have worked with primates. Primates live in large troops and family groups, right? So when you have a singly housed primate, that's not good for their mental well-being, because they're supposed to live in families and they're supposed to communicate accordingly, and
they're social.
Yeah. And so when they don't have something to socialize with, and people are not a replacement for other monkeys. Let's make that very clear. We don't have the same body language. We don't have the same. And that's a lot of times why primates, when rescued, can't be put together with other primates, because they've been pulled from mom at a couple days of age and bottle raised and never taught the proper body language that they're supposed to exhibit in order to communicate. So we see on the greeting cards and stuff these primates smiling, like the chimpanzees or the monkeys, or we see the YouTube videos or the TikToks. Monkeys or primates in general smiling is not a good thing in the wild. And so when we teach them to exhibit that and we reinforce that behavior, and then we try to put them with other primates, and they're like, no, that's scary, you're stressed out, you're having anxiety, you're being mean. It really does damage housing these guys singly, and having them as pets in the exotic pet trade.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
we see a
much.
lot of mental illness in animals from being raised this way through the exotic pet trade.
Okay, let's bring it back to bears.
Yes, my favorite topic.
I know, your favorite topic. You're such bared out. You're so bared out. People do have bears.
Keep bears, yes.
Are there any bears locally
There are not any
in captivity that people, not in the wild, but that you're aware of that have a bear?
The closest bear that I know of currently is in Madisonville. So I don't know of anyone in the Houston, Conroe area currently that have them. I know there's a facility that has them in the area, and the Houston Zoo has bears, but I don't know of any other privately owned bears currently. This may change with the passing of the Big Cat Public Safety Act, that bear cubs are going to have a huge influx in the exotic pet trade this next year.
Why?
Because bears aren't included in that cub petting.
They are or
and
not?
They are not included in that.
Okay.
So we would like to see the bill amended after it's been signed to include bears, to prevent the same us
So it would
going
be-
down the same trail, right? We're seeing all of these tigers being neglected and needing placement after we're done with them with cub petting. They're either put out back to starve or auctioned off to the highest bidder, to a public owner. Now that they can't do that anymore, there's going to be an influx of bears. The kind of good thing about bears is they breed in May, June, and only give birth one time of year. So that will limit the number of cubs that can be influxed into the exotic pet trade, but I won't be surprised if more facilities get them and breed them just to continue on, because their business is based off of the cub petting. When we look at, anyone who watched Tiger King, Tim Stark, the guy out of Southern Indiana, he was making $1 million a year off of cub petting alone.
He's not doing that anymore, is he?
No, he's been shut down.
Okay.
Joe Exotic, Joe Exotic, Jeff Lowe, Tim Stark have all been shut down. Doc Antle is in jail currently, waiting on his day in court. So really, most of the big players we've put a stop to.
they
As
know
in the
you?
Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance.
Do they know you?
Doc Antle doesn't know me. Tim Stark knew me. I did have threats from Joe Exotic back in 2011. I don't think Jeff Lowe knew who I was. He came into the picture
Not yet.
in the middle. Yeah. So, but yeah, from my work at previous sanctuaries.
So much.
Yes.
So much.
Yes.
Okay, so bears.
Yes.
You want to have the first and only bear sanctuary here in Montgomery County, Texas.
Yes.
There is not one. Why is there not one in United States?
So one day I was sitting and talking with a gal from IFAW, International Foundation for Animal Welfare. She's like, "Are you ready for bears yet?" And I was like, "No, we still don't have a property." And she's like, "Okay, well, there's a guy who has an elephant and a hippo, but he won't release the elephant and the hippo unless we find placement for the bears, because bears are really hard to house. That's the number one, is they don't sleep 20 out of 24 hours a day like a big cat does, and they're smart like primates and elephants, and they require a lot more enrichment than big cats do, and they dig and they climb, and they're active all day, and they need a lot of mental stimulation for them to not tear apart their habitat. The other thing too is they'll live 30 years, whereas big cats 15 to 20 years, and they eat 40 pounds of produce. A small black bear will eat 40 pounds of produce a day. So that's not even the brown bears, who are bigger than the black bears. So there are a lot to handle when it comes to housing them. Also, bears are not an exotic species, right? Black bears and brown bears are native to the United States. They're difficult to photograph because they are black. Because people can go and see them, right? If you go to Montana or Minnesota, even Colorado, up in the Northeast, you can see black bears. And so there's not the, I don't know, excitement behind them. Like there is a tiger that's
Like a
exotic
tiger
that lives
that you'd
across
see-
the world,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or a lion that lives on the African savannah. You know, there's not that excitement when you see them, you know.
Out in the wild.
So, yeah.
Because
yeah.
they're natural.
Yeah, because
It's
they
natural
live
to their
here.
environment.
So there's not a lot of monies. There's not a lot of, because they can come and see them and it's here, right? So like so many people at the previous sanctuary I worked at, we would have a free day for the community. Well, they wouldn't come, and they're like, "Oh, I'll go see it next week," and it'll be like 10 years, and they've never visited the best kept secret in their community. So it's kind of the same as, "Oh, I could go see bears anywhere. I can only see a tiger once in a lifetime here at this facility or whatever." And so I think that's part of it too, is we can travel, 12 hours and be able to see a bear, because there's bears over in Big Bend in Texas. So I can travel over Big Bend and I can see bears. So I think all of that encompassed is why there's not a lot of money is focused on bears in captivity.
Well, sounds like they eat a lot. Where would you get the produce?
Yeah. So we have a partnership with the food bank, and so that way we can get produce that people haven't chosen for their food.
Because the animals aren't picky.
No, the animals aren't picky. Especially, let's say they get donated from a warehouse, like 3 pallet boxes of watermelon or oranges or something of that nature. Well, the food bank, only so many people come each week to the food bank to pick up their food. Well, let's say there's a pallet of oranges left that are going to go bad if we don't. They're perfectly viable. They're perfectly edible, but they're just going to go to the dump. And so we can partner with them and take those and feed it to the animals in order to prevent that waste from going to the dump.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, and I used to work at the food bank. So let's talk about some of the things you have going on right now, fundraisers, things like that.
Right now, we have a Fill Their Stockings campaign. Every day on social media, you will see us posting about a different animal that we currently house. We have a half-acre campus with exotic birds and reptiles, and so each one has asked Santa to fill their stocking with something individually. And so, like Storm, we call her our pirate parrot. She asked for another grass mat activity center. So we have all of those on our Amazon.
Asked for that.
Yes, she asked for that. That is her favorite thing in the entire world, is those activity centers, because parrots are really smart, and so she likes to play with these activity centers. But she also tears them up. But that's what they're meant to be, right? And so she asked for more of those. Barney, our dwarf hamster, which his story is that a mom told her children that they weren't taking care of their dwarf hamsters anymore, take them out back and release them into the yard. Well, they're not a native species and they won't survive. And so the neighbor actually saw it happening, and then we were contacted and we took Fred and Barney in. Fred has since passed away, but Barney is still alive and kicking. He's the healthiest hamster, 4-year-old dwarf hamster our veterinarian has ever seen. And he wants blueberry yogurt snacks. That's what he wants to stuff in his stocking. And so we have a lot of other items on our Amazon wish list currently that you can go on and find and stuff their stockings with this year.
Do they deliver them to you, or how do
Yeah,
you get
if you go to our Amazon wish list and you click on it, pay for it, it ships directly to us. And if you use your Amazon Smile and choose Bears Etc. as the organization to support, Amazon Smile will send us a portion of the proceeds from that purchase.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So is that part of your birthday thing?
Oh, no.
That's another thing.
That's another thing. So as we know, Giving Tuesday is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. My birthday happens to sit right between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so right now I currently have a fundraiser going for my birthday on Facebook to help us raise end-of-year funds needed for us to continue to rescue these animals from the exotic pet trade.
And your birthday is this coming
the
weekend.
17th, yeah.
How about that?
Very excited.
Very exciting.
Very excited.
You'll be 30.
Yes. Again, for the 13th time.
Oh, well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yes.
I like being 32.
No, so many people, like, they see me and I have really good genes, right? I grew up on a farm and they're like, oh, you know, you're so young, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, really, I've been doing this for a really long time and I have a lot of experience. Please, you know that I am older than as what I seem.
No, not really. You're still
young at heart. Young
You're
at
still
heart.
young. So you also saw, is this part of it, $5 a day feeds our birds, or is that something else?
Yes, that's our Take 5 initiative, kind
Okay.
of what's going on with my birthday fundraiser as well. We're asking everybody to take 5 to give 5 for end of year giving. So $5 a day will feed fresh produce. $5 or $50 a day will help us build another free flight aviary. Things of that nature that we have in our campaign to help with that end of year giving, because we are currently at capacity. So for us to take on any more animals, we'll have to build more habitats. And so in order to build more habitats, we have to have the funds available. So
I need to go visit.
yes, you do. Come out. Well, right now is not good because all the tortoises have gone to sleep for the winter. Actually, the box turtles, when we were out there yesterday, the box turtles woke up, got a snack, and went back to bed. But the tortoises...
What do they do when they go to sleep? They just
They just hibernate for the winter. Yeah. Our sulcata tortoise bromate, which means they slow down. They're still kind of awake. We keep them at about 60 degrees. But the Russian tortoises and the box turtles all hibernate for the winter. So, yeah. So all you'll get to see is the birds. So it's better if you can come out and see everybody all at the same
then
time.
I'll just wait
until
after the holidays and then some.
Yes.
Okay, so bearsetc.org.
Yes.
And they can follow you on Instagram
Facebook,
or Facebook,
Twitter,
whatever.
LinkedIn.
All of that.
All of the social media. We're working on TikTok.
But you're super excited today, I can tell.
Yes. We're so excited. I've been traveling across the state this year, educating first responders and animal control officers, which I feel are all included together. But I want to make sure to shout out to the animal control officers because they're the ones that get the calls when there's a tiger loose, right? They are not trained on how to handle these situations. So I've been traveling across the state helping to educate and hoping to train them to handle these calls when they come out. So, and it's been a lot of fun. My little sister is an animal control officer, so their lives are very important to me.
I didn't know you had a little sister.
I am the oldest of 5.
Wow.
Yes. So training these guys and gals that are out there responding to these calls is very important. So I'm very excited to have a course that's has continuing education credits for them. So our sheriff's departments and our animal controls, they get continuing education credits for taking my course.
Wow.
So yeah. So it's been
become
it's
a
been
big
good
deal
year.
this last year.
I mean, kind of.
you really are. You've been traveling a lot.
Yeah. I've been having a lot more speaking engagements. I've been getting a lot more into
education.
schools. Yeah, and I love it. I love every minute of it. I love public speaking and teaching and all of that. So yeah, it's been really, really good.
You've been gone a lot more than you've been here.
Yeah.
Really?
I have. Yeah, this fall
So that's cool.
especially.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You need to get those Baylor Bears involved.
Yeah. Hey,
Right?
all you Baylor Bears out there, let's sick them. Let's get this done.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. You have this year to get this done.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's build a bear sanctuary together.
Let's do it. Do it. Okay, well, I hope you have a very wonderful birthday.
Well, thank you very much. Yes. And a very Merry Christmas to you.
Okay, that's it. That's Katie with Bears, etc. And so the big cats, and then we're going to work on the big bears.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right. Thanks, Katie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to our sponsors, Team Sinisi and Roger Stein Chiropractic. We will hear from y'all next week.